Hi everyone, I'm Jesse Adler and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to take a simple piece of rebar and turn it into a knife using blacksmithing. Okay, so to make way for a installment, which you will probably hear about in a future video in a few weeks, we've had to take out a concrete slab that was here. And you can see concrete's everywhere, but one good thing is there's these big rebar pieces you can see. So I think I'm going to chop off one of them using the Sawzall, or reciprocating saw, and I'm going to turn part of it into a knife. So let's do that. You can also use a handheld hacksaw to do this as well if you don't have power tools. But I'm going to do using the Sawzall because it saves quite a bit of time. And even if you don't have any rebar laying around, you can get it super cheap at the hardware store. But now I've got my piece cut, I think I'll be using this section for the knife. I think that feels about good. So now I'm going to get the forge set up. Okay, so I've collected some nice big chunks of the concrete, and I think I'll build up a tiny little forge on the ground. Actually, I think those are going to be too unstable. Much better. Okay, next you're going to want to get some charcoal, or you can use wood. Either will work fine. And you're gonna put it into your forge that you just built. So for me, I didn't have anything like an anvil or a large piece of metal. So I just got this, it's a plate from something I took apart a while ago, I'm not sure. And I got, of course, a normal hammer. Pretty much any kind of hammer will work. Yeah, whatever you got. And I'm not sure if this piece will work because it's super thin, it's like sheet metal. And if it doesn't, I'll probably go out and buy a thicker piece of metal. But let's hope it works. Okay, now you're ready to light the fire. I've got some nice charcoal lighter fluid and a blowtorch to light it. Although you can use any number of things as long as you get those charcoals lit, just like if you were barbecuing. But before I light it, I'm going to move this away because I don't want to turn the blowtorch on yet, or hairdryer on yet, sorry about that, because it'll blow up dust before they've lit. So I'm going to get them lit first, and then I'll put that on. And that's just so that heat doesn't travel up the tube, because that could burn the blow dryer. So I'm going to put some fluid on right here. Let's see how this works. That should be good. Looks about right. Okay, now let's put these back on top. Keep the heat in. And let's light it. There we go. Okay, now let's give that a minute to light. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and I think that they're lit enough. So I'm going to quickly move that there, and then I've got to turn the blow dryer on. I'm just going to turn it on low for now so that I don't blow it out. But yeah, I'll check in another few minutes to show you how it's going and what it should look like. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, and as you can hopefully tell, they are burning quite a bit hotter. You can see some nice flame in there, and there is no propane or anything coming through this tube. That is only air. So yeah, it's looking good. When your coals are looking like this, you can see the orange glow. Go ahead and stick your rebar in. Okay, there we go, and you're just going to want to leave it in there until you can see it glowing red. Okay, as I can see kind of right in there, it's getting red hot, so I think it's time to start hammering. Actually, I discovered that using a hammer as a thing to hit it against might work better because it's harder metal. Okay, so the next step is to quench it, and you're just gonna get a bucket full of water or oil, and you're gonna get it red hot and stick it in. And that will make it very hard so that it is stronger as a knife. Well, on second thought, I didn't think that was a very good quench. I don't think I got it hot enough, so I'm gonna try again. The way that you know it is hot enough to do a quench is when it becomes non-magnetic. So I have a little magnet here, and I'm gonna touch it to it, and once it doesn't like get pulled onto it, I'm gonna know it's time to quench. But as always, safety first. I'm gonna be holding it with these. Oh, there we go. Doesn't stick. And now that it's cooled down, just as a proof that it would, it sticks quite a bit. You can feel it. Okay, so once you have it how you want it and quenched, you're going to want to cut it off right at the end of the handle. So the next step is to set your oven to 400 degrees. Set it, and then make a timer for 45 minutes, and you're going to want to set it inside. After quenching, the knife is very, very brittle, so you're not going to want to work with it. Like if you hit it with a hammer, it could break. So this softens it just enough so that you can work with it. Okay, now that you have put your knife in the oven for 45 minutes, now you're going to begin shaping. Okay, now that you have your knife in the general shape of how you want it, now you're going to start creating an edge on it. And I'm just going to be holding it at about 45 degrees on the belt sander. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, so now that you kind of have the starting of an edge on there, you're going to want to take it to the file and file it down a bit finer. Okay, now that I have an edge made, it's time to go to the actual knife sharpener and sharpen it down to a fine point. And to test its functionality, I'm going to slice some of these foods that I've prepared, and I'm going to be pitting it against the knife that I built in a previous video. Link up there somewhere. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I think on some things like the apple and the blueberries, the knife that I built in a previous video was better. But on everything else, like the honeydew, the tomatoes, this knife prevailed. And neither was good at the cheese. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I highly suggest you go try out blacksmithing for yourself. It's a very fun, rewarding process. So go check out one of those videos over there, and I'll see you in a few seconds.